Good day, artists. I'm Miss Kim. Thank you for joining me today for another episode of Drawstrings, where we're going to learn how to draw an animal today, and then we're going to sing a song that is based on facts about the animal. Today we are drawing a panda bear as requested by Miss Hadley May, who is in Northeast Ohio, and I found a really cute image to work off of. So let's get started with our panda bear today. What we need, we have a couple white colored pencils. I have a light brown. I have a darker brown, which just happens to be erasable, but that's neither here nor there. And then I have a black colored pencil, and I've sharpened both ends just because it's a little bit of a time saver. So if you feel like that is something that your parents will let you do and it's something that you want to utilize, please go ahead, but ask permission first because I don't want anything to be dangerous. And we also have my pencil sharpener, which desperately needs to be emptied yet again. All right. So those of you just joining us, hi John, those of you just joining us, we are drawing a panda bear today, courtesy of Hadley May, who is a young lady in Northeast Ohio. So let's get started, huh? I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll start drawing. Okay, and this layout, this composition is going to be a little interesting, and I'll let you know why. But let's start out with like panda bear eyes. We're starting out on the left side of the paper a little bit and a little bit of the way down. So we're going to start right here, kind of top center left area, and we're going to start with the panda bear eyes. They're these little guys on the face. They look like little seeds or little almonds, just like that. So there's one. We're going to scoot across because remember, we need to have space in between the eyes to allow for the nose, the snout, everything in between. So one little seed for an eye, another one, and then just like everything else that we've drawn so far, they do have the protective outer lids, those coverings. So we're going to draw those lines outside of the eye, just like that. And then we're going to go to the other side and do the same exact thing. And then again, you'll notice some patterns happening with things that we're drawing. So if you're drawing just from memory, you can start to realize, hey, this element I see all the time, kind of like the light reflection in the eye. Do you see that in everything that we've drawn so far? If you have, it's probably a good indicator that if you're drawing from memory, that's something that you could also draw in. So we're going to have the little light reflection, and then we're going to have the pupil right there, and then we're going to draw the other pupil on that side, and the pupil is a darker part of the eye. So even though the panda bear does have dark brown eyes, the pupil is black. So we're going to make those a little darker than the rest, okay? Now, this is what's cool about the panda bear. It looks like it's wearing a mask. So we're going to draw like the little black spots around the eyes, and they sort of look like jelly beans. So we're going to start near the eye, and we're going to come up and around, do a little bit of a jelly bean shape over the one, just like that. And the marking is a little bit shorter on the top above the eye than it is below the eye. Now let's come around and do it on the other side as well. And they don't look exactly the same. They're not going to be exactly the same because that's not how they're going to look in nature. So these shapes don't have to be exactly the same, but it's sort of the same idea. We're coming up and around the eye. And then we're coming a little bit further down with that fur marking, that black fur coloring. So right there. So we have a basis of a panda, and it's a pretty distinguishing feature. So we'll come back and color this in, but right now we're just getting the layout. So we have the two eyes of the panda plus the little jelly bean. We're going to have little black jelly beans. I don't like black jelly beans, but other flavors are okay. I'm not a big licorice person. So then we're going to have the snout that kind of holds the nose and the mouth. We're going to do that in between, and it's sort of on an angle here. And again, we'll get to why this looks the way it does. But let's draw the panda bear nose, which is also going to be black, but we're doing just the outline right now, okay? So we're drawing a panda bear nose. It's kind of wide, and then it does have that marking down the middle. And if you look at your nose, you have a little bit of a line down the at the bottom of your nose as well. A little bit of a divider that allows for some symmetry. There we go. And we're going to draw the nostrils inside the panda bear nose. So on one side, we're just going to draw a little line that looks like a hook. And on the other side, going to do the same thing. And then in the center underneath the nose, the center of the nose, underneath the nose, we're going to draw a little line that comes down. So this matches up with the line that's in between on the nose. And this is going to start the mouth area of the panda bear. So with on the one side, we're going to draw a curved line, just like this, that takes us up and around the nose and back up to the eye area, the jelly bean marking area. And we're going to do that on the other side too. And this is a little different. This one's going to be a little bit closer. This one's smushed a little bit. So we're going to smush this all the way up to the jelly bean eye. Very nice. And then we're going to draw a little bit of the bottom mouth right underneath it. Right there. Very good. Let's get to the rest of the head I almost said of the jelly bean, of the panda bear. And we will get to the rest of the body of the panda after that. So with the panda bear, it kind of has a large furry head. So we're going to start at the top in between the jelly bean eyes. Just get the top of the head rolling. It is like more of a rounded head, a rounded shape. And we're going to forego the ears for now. And we're going to stop right about here. So we're not going to draw the entire head. We're going to stop right about there. And we're going to come up and around. So it's not perfectly circular. It's just rounded. Rounded at the top, and it flattens a little bit where we're going to put the ears. And then we're going to come back down around the face. And take this line over to the snout. Very nice. Okay. So we're going to draw in the ears next, and they're black, kind of like the markings on the face and the nose. But we're going to color those in a little bit. So they're almost like Mickey Mouse ears a bit. They're rounded, they're furry, but they're not perfectly round. There's one. And then we're going to come to the other side of the head, and we're going to draw another. So it's just going to come up off. So this ear is up and to the right of this eye, and this one's up and to the left of this eye. So they're not directly above them, but they're sort of in a similar space. All right. There we go. We have 2 ears down, and we can make these fluffy later. It does, obviously, like there is a lot of fur. There's a lot of fluff to a panda bear, but we can come back and detail that later. All right, so let's move on to the rest of the body of the panda. We have one paw that's going to be up above the eye area here, and it has his little digits, his little claws, so we're going to make those like indentations. Excuse the noise of my pencils as they roll. So it's going to come around here like a big paw. It's kind of like a kitty paw or a dog paw. Very nice. It does have some claws, so we can draw those little guys in, just sharp little triangles, just like that. And then, you know what? We're going to leave a space, and it's not going to make sense for a minute, but we'll get to that. So we're going to leave a space, tiny bit of a space, and then draw the rest of the arm of the panda coming down right here. So it's a little bit further off, and it's a little bit below the mouth of the panda. Now let's come back to this area. We're going to start like the shoulder of the panda here that comes down into the elbow. Very nice, very nice. And this becomes the other claw, the other paw. Right there. So what does this look like? Does it look like the panda is holding on to something? Let's get these little sharp triangles there. Does it look like the panda is holding on to something? What do you think? Do you think it's time to draw what the panda is holding on to? All right, why don't we switch gears for a moment? I'm going to bring out my light brown, and we're going to draw the tree that the panda bear is holding on to. So all these spaces that we're leaving out make sense, and then we'll get to the rest of the body. So starting at the top of the paper, a little bit over the panda's head, we're going to start with a tree branch that comes down into the thicker trunk that the panda is holding on to. So where we left off with the face, where we stopped drawing the face is where we're going to start drawing the trunk of the tree, because the panda is looking out from around the trunk of the tree. All right, so there's one. We're going to draw a branch up here that's going a bit off the paper. And then it's thicker in the middle here. And then we have another branch. So this is just a U shape. This is a V shape. And we're going to bring this back in and around. And then the tree also comes out and around the paw of the panda and back up off the page. And then we're going to get back to the sturdy trunk part where we left off. So this trunk part now comes all the way down to the bottom of the paper. So all the way down to the bottom of the paper. And the panda's holding on to the trunk part because the trunk is sturdy and it's larger and it's able to hold his weight. So this is what we have so far with the panda. Let's switch gears again and get back to drawing his legs and the rest of his body with this black colored pencil, and then we'll start to color in. So underneath the paw here on the left side of the paper, we're going to draw the first leg. It goes directly up against the bottom of the elbow of the panda here. And again, I'm not drawing super straight lines because the panda is furry. So this is the leg, and then inside the leg, we're going to draw the foot. And the foot is pressed up against the tree, and it does have these little claws, these little digits. So we're going to draw a few of those. It looks like we have 3 here. There we go. Now, let's go to the other side. We have a little bit of black fluff. It looks like near the panda's armpit. I don't know if that's the technical term for it, but that's what we're going to call it. So there's that. And then we're going to draw the tummy area, which is going to be like the white area of the panda. And that's going to come out and down. That's going to lead to the second leg of the panda. There we go. And this one's also up against the tree, but just in a different manner. So it's coming down a little bit further than the other leg, the other foot of the panda. And then this foot kind of, it comes off the bottom part of the leg here, and we're going to draw those little toes that also have the claws. And even the ones that don't make it onto the tree, we're going to draw those claws, because they still have claws, even if the claws aren't connecting to the trunk of the tree. All right, so we have our panda, our general layout. All right, this panda who is scaling a tree, probably for some bamboo to eat, because they don't prey on anything. They could, but they don't. All right, so let's go back to this really, really cute panda face with the jelly bean eye markings in the ears, and let's start coloring in with our black colored pencil. Actually, let's take our dark brown colored pencil and color in the rest of these eyes here before we go forward and do anything else. And then we can put that back down and get to the jelly bean marking. So we're going to color in these eyes. Look how cute. Panda bears are so cute. I don't really think about them day to day, but they are really adorable. There's a really good suggestion by Miss Hadley. There we go. So let's color those in. And then we're going to go back, switch back to our black colored pencil. And we can make little furry like markings and color in those jelly bean spaces, that fur marking around the eyes that make the panda bear so distinguishable, so neat looking. We can color in those lid areas too, but just not as dark. We'll leave them a little bit so there's some contrast. And then this fur as well, because it depends on like how the light is shining off it. It doesn't have to be all dark black. You can lighten it up a little bit. Like, do you see how I've done that color variation here? You can lighten it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be all colored in very, very dark because it will reflect some light, even though it's black. Let's see. So we'll color in this side as well. All right, up and around the eye. And then make this darker at the bottom here. It comes up against the tree trunk. All right, now let's move on to the nose. And it is darker on the nose where the nostrils are, where the nasal cavities are. But most of the, and then the central line is a little darker too, but most of the nose is pretty dark. It's just different variations of that darker black marking. Okay, very nice. Let's darken up this line to the mouth a little bit. And then we're going to darken under the mouth a little bit just because there is a shadow being cast there. So we're going to color that. All right, very nice. Now let's shoot up to the ears here. And again, this is nothing fancy, just making short little lines. And if I want to make the coloring darker, I just press down harder. And if I want to make it a little lighter, I'm just not adding as much pressure. So there is some variation with the color because it's not just going to be one solid color. It's not just going to be a solid black. So, and remember, these are furry. These are furry creatures. They're furry ears. So we're drawing these lines accordingly. All right, so we have one, and then we're going to do the second ear here. It's a little lighter up top. There's my pencils again, rolling. Okay. And then we're going to be darker at the bottom here. All right, very nice. So we have the face of the panda, and we'll come back and shade this in a minute, but let's get to the rest of the panda bear that is a black color, the black markings, the black fur, and then we'll get to the white fur, and we'll shade in the white fur because even though the fur is white, it doesn't mean it doesn't have some color variation, some shadowing. So this fur under the mouth, is a little bit darker because it is a crease, there is a shadow. Ed, I think you should draw something, and I'd love to see it. I also have your artwork, and we'll have to schedule a pickup because I'm going to be doing some delivery, but that's neither here nor there right now. So, and then also under the elbow here, it's going to be a little darker. I might have to sharpen my colored pencils, we'll see. All right, just coloring in this paw because everything from the shoulder here down to the elbow to the paw is black fur on the panda bear. All right. Very nice, very nice. All right, so we have one colored in. Let's color in the top part here, and it's the same exact thing. Black fur, but it doesn't have to be all dark. We can shade it to where there's lighter color and darker color within that one color variation. I'm just doing quick lines here like that because that is what is simple, but it's also effective. Another effective thing is you can draw a darker outline outside the entire animal to really make it stand out. And then under this, under that tree branch there, we're going to color in the rest of the panda bear's arm with that black coloring. All right, and then gets a little bit of that armpit hair. Just that armpit coloring. Has a little bit of a darker hue as well. All right, now let's get to the legs here, and then we're going to switch up with our colors, okay? So, let's start at the bottom of the leg, because that's a darker coloring. And then as we get closer up to the elbow, we're going to go a little lighter. Just because the fur looks a little bit lighter when it's near the stomach area. So we're going to ease up on that darker coloring. It does get a little darker around the outside of the feet. Here, the claws. The claws, the paws, the feet, the digits, the appendages. There we go. All right, so it adds some dimension there. Now let's color in this little claw. I mean, not little. Adult panda bears can be like 5 feet long, so it's probably not that little. They're probably bigger feet than you have. Maybe not bigger feet than I have. I have pretty big feet, but maybe one day I'll be able to find out. Have a foot measuring contest with a panda. I can't really think of anything better that I would like to do with my time, actually. So that kind of sounds amazing. And remember these claws. All right, so that's one. We're making really good progress, so just hang in there. Let's start at the bottom here as well. We're going to color in these little digits, the little feet. Thanks, Roy. What's interesting is when you said that, I didn't even get part of it. I just got the panda part. All right. Hey, Leslie Nope. All right. Coloring in there. All right, so we have the feet, and the only thing we need to do left with the black colored pencil is color in this leg. And then we're going to take a breath, and we're going to move on. So let's get this colored in nicely. And then if you guys are around later, from 5 to 7 p.m., I am doing a different, it's not a class, it's a, well, I guess it could be if you wanted to learn, but I am doing some live stream painting, and I have a big surprise for everybody. So if you are around later from 5 to 7 p.m., please tune in. All right. Whew. I'm going to put that black colored pencil down for a minute. Let's take this dark brown colored pencil. All right. So we're going to come back up to the face, and we're going to add a little dimension. We're going to add some fur. We're going to add some color to the fur. So we're going to start in between the eyes, center of the snout, coming down to the nose. Just quick little lines like this to denote hair, to show some shading, to add depth. Just like that. And then because the nose does stick out on the face, we're going to make what's around the snout a little bit darker, so it really brings that forward. So under the eye here, underneath there, up and around the eyes. It's almost like they have eyebrows. Must be nice. Just getting silly now. All right. And all of this, they're not straight lines, they're more little straight lines that go in a, they're little straight lines that go in a curved and a big curved line. Little straight lines that add up to a big curve. All right, doing that there. So we have a little bit of depth and shading there. We're going to do that on the tummy as well. And especially here, we'll get a little darker with the lines, a little bit darker with that shading because that fur does go so deep. The fur is so thick on the belly. And we'll come back up here. There we go. Just having fun, drawing fur all over the place. Very nice. Real quick, we're going to take our light brown pencil and just go over some of the areas we had the dark brown for added depth. Just really lightly with our pencil, our colored pencil. There we go. And I'm not even lifting my pencil off the paper right now. You can be that loose with it. You can be that loose with your drawing. Just don't want to tighten up, you know. Just want to keep a loose hand with the pencil. There we go. Just give it a real sketchy feel, just like that. John, I know, right? Shading is everything, you guys. John, I hope you're drawing with me right now. A little bit more on the snout there. Doing a little blending. There we go. And then we're going to come back down to the belly. To the belly of the panda. That's not the song today, but we're going to sing that soon. And then if you want, real quick, you can take this light pencil and draw on some tree lines. Draw on the shading. It's totally up to you. I'm just doing really quick, lazy, almost broke the piece of paper. Just really quick, real sketchy shading there. And then you can darken the shading on the tree underneath the arms to give it some realism, because there will be a shadow cast by where the bear is holding on. So that helps it look more realistic. All right, we'll draw a little shading underneath this guy here, the bottom foot. And there we have our panda bear on a tree, like a little cutie. All right. Looking good, guys. I hope to see your drawings. I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to sing a song about a panda bear. Hey everyone, I hope you had fun today drawing a panda bear. We're going to sing a song with panda bear facts. Some real science about a panda bear. And not just one panda bear, all panda bears. Alright, so this is a song I wrote about panda bears. Hopefully my phone doesn't fall over, because that would be silly. I poop a lot, I eat a lot, my favorite food is bamboo. Poop a lot, I eat a lot, my favorite food is bamboo. I go from pink to white and black, punk looking berry, yeah, that's a fact. I go from pink to white and black, punk looking berry, yeah, that's a fact. From a young age I can swim, I climb trees too. 10 hours I spend sleeping, the rest I'm eating bamboo. Sharp teeth like a carnivore, but I don't chase prey. I'm too slow and too lazy, and they just get away. I go from pink to white and black, punk looking berry, yeah, that's a fact. I go from pink to white and black, punk munching on bamboo. Poop-a-la, eat-a-la, my favorite food is bamboo. Give a hand up for that panda munching on that bamboo. I go from pink to white and black, going through getting buried, that's a fact. I go from pink to white and black, going through getting buried, that's a fact. Poop-a-la, eat-a-la, my favorite food is bamboo. Poop-a-la, eat-a-la, my favorite food is bamboo. Alright guys, I'll see you Friday. Thank you.